Hi there, my name is Alex from Christine Jewelers. So last week, Oris unveiled, I think, maybe one of their biggest launch for 2020. We have just received a press kit from Oris, very rare, of the movement. And I have here Marc with me to go over the movement, tell us a little bit about the design, the functionality, and the power reserve and all that kind of good stuff. One thing that really intrigued me about this is they emphasized on a 10-year warranty. So they're very confident on their movement that they're willing to back it up with 10 years. So that's one of the things that, just really struck me. So we're gonna unbox it together right now. So inside the box, we have, a close-up shot of the movement. And then as we open it, there is three key elements or functionalities that they're highlighting on. I'll have Marc about that. But in here, if you can see, there's a 2 and a 3. So the 2 is the actual movement of the watch. 3 I can't really unveil yet is because this will be Oris's very first piece that they'll be putting their new Calibre 400 in. And that is going to be revealed in our next video after they have the official launch. But, rest assured, I've seen it. It's an amazing watch. So, Marc?
So different things came to focus when we were developing this movement. It's been 5 years in the making. So for a little bit of time now, I know in enthusiast groups and Oris fans have been asking, when's that first three-hand in-house going to be coming? And for quite a bit of time, I've known that there was something in the works, but you just can't talk about it. It's kind of like Fight Club. So you can't talk about Fight Club. So very happy to talk to you guys about the Calibre 400 movement. The watch you guys will get a glance at on the 29th of October. And like Alex said, we'll have some content followed up with the timepiece. But there's three key features to this watch that are unavoidable that should really be emphasized on. And one of the major components is the anti-magnetism. So in this watch, there's 30 components that are anti-magnetic. It's been tested in magnetic fields up to 2,250 Gausses, which compared to a lot of watches in the industry, that's 9 to 11 times more anti-magnetic than the average watch in the Swiss industry. So the anti-magnetism really affects us in a way that there's more magnets, more of this in everyday society. And to have a watch that would be able to sustain some of these issues was definitely key. So it's something that we put on the board of something we want to accomplish in the development of this movement. The second is the power reserve. So we've seen different power reserves come out in the last few years. We do a 10-day hand wound. But this time, we are aware that a lot of watch wearers, a lot of collectors have more than one timepiece. So to get them something that would allow them to rotate watches in their collection and still stay 100% functional, we decided to develop a 5-day power reserve, 120 hours. The movement is actually double barreled. Each barrel contains 2.5 days of charge, so 60 hours. So it's got a nice beefy power reserve fit for the modern watch wearer that definitely has a important collection. And then that last component, and Alex already touched on it a bit, is the confidence of the brand. Going forward, our in-house Calibre 400 is going to be teamed up with a 10-year warranty. And another thing that I saw come across in the forums, there's a lot of skeptical people mentioning that, oh, well, this means in the future, if we have to get a repair on the watch or an adjustment, an overhaul, it's going to be going back to Switzerland. From the information that I've most recently received is that these watches will be serviced in Canada by our service center. So we won't have to have that, not third party, but have to send it back to the manufacturer if the need comes. But we're talking about a 10-year warranty. So I'm sure you have a little bit of time between purchase and that time where you need to get your required or suggested 10-year service.
So did you want to maybe talk about the design as well? I know back with the previous movements, you guys had a red motor. It's no
So
longer there anymore.
yeah, great question. This is the new standard. So with the new standard, we really wanted to set it apart from the rest of the Salida-based movements and the ETA-based movements in the collection. So going forward, the Calibre 400 will not have the red rotor. You might come across this online. It's come up in different areas. There's a lot of people calling it, a lot of people referring to the watch as the Calibre 400, because if you take a good look at the watch, you'll notice that the two barrels could represent the ears, the jewels could represent the eyes, and then the rotor represents the smile. So there might be an Oris bear hidden there. It's not in any official Oris documentation, but I just think that ever since the release and online forums and Instagram, it is something that's been popping up. So if you want to call it the Calibre 400 in store, Alex, go for it. But it's just another way of us. And like I said, it's from a clean sheet of paper. This is a movement that was entirely drawn up by Oris. It's not based on a pre-existing movement. We do have a history of having some movements in the company that were used ever since the launch of the company. But this is really something that the way they approached it was to kind of make a board of what they would like to see in a watch that they were going to wear on their wrist. And that was the execution that they went for. It was a beefier power reserve, something that was fitted to the modern watch wear with the magnetisms that we might come across. It's actually a pretty common repair in the watch industry, is watches that get magnetized. So all of that put together, and then the confidence to put on that 10-year warranty. Definitely something that as soon as they announced it, and now I know and you know which watch it is, but we'll just let everyone hang on a little bit longer. I apologize, we can't reveal it today, but I think everyone's going to be excited to see. And there are hints out there. Some people have figured it out, but we're not going to fuel that fire.
Right. So moving forward with Oris, are they gonna put this movement on all their watches, or?
No, I think anything could change from one day to the next, but I think the focus for this was just to put it in to a watch to meet that demand that we had. Because like I said, with the enthusiast groups, a lot of people said Oris needs to do this, Oris needs to do that. And knowing that we knew that it was coming, I think it was important for us to put in the collection in a position where it'll be successful. But let's not forget, Oris, we're all about the value offering. And if we were to shift the whole collection to Calibre 400, that price point would obviously increase.
Speaking of the price, a lot of people are concerned. Is this going to be an affordable movement?
I'll put it this way. Every retailer who has had the privilege of finding out about this watch all overshot pretty much the retail of this watch. So we'll be able to talk a little bit more about that in the future. But when you think of Oris, you think of quality product at a reasonable offered price. And this will follow that philosophy. To give you an example, we did not aim for cost certification, because if we did that, that retail price would go up, let's say $200 to $500 at the point of sale. Instead of applying it for cost and having the consumer pay for that certification, we just decided to, instead of doing -4 +6, which is the cost gap, where the bench standard for Calibre 400 is -3 +5.
Okay.
So we're even aiming within cost. It would be able to pass the cost test. It's been tested at 5 angles. It's just, it's not going to come with that certificate.
Okay. Okay. So I think the next big thing is, just revealing the new watch with a new movement in it. So that's going to be on our next video. Thank you again for sending me this kit.
And I'll say this too, once the watch launches on the 29th, did you get the VR set with that?
We did. We did.
I would invite any customer that's interested to have a in-depth look to the Calibre 400 to get in touch with Alex, stop by the store, and get a full VR introduction to the Calibre 400 and also the PPX that is on there as well.
You can come to the store, but I won't be showing you the new watch, unfortunately. But I will show you shots of the movement for sure. Okay, so until next time, thanks again, Mark, and I'll see you very soon.
Excellent. Sounds good.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Have a good one.